Hi everyone, this is Russell for this new short video about the PPP on the $50,000 grant program. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the $50,000 program, the new $15,000 EIDL targeted advanced grant. Okay, so before we start, you're going to allow me, 2 minutes or 30 seconds to allow other people to join the meeting or the live before we started. I don't know if you have seen on the title or the description of this live. Today we're talking specifically about this $15,000 grant. Okay, after the last video last week, we received thousands of questions about whether they are eligible or no. This is why today I think it's useful to have a session specifically for that reason, or a session only to talk about that. Okay, so you're going to give us like a few seconds for us to share with other people in different groups so that they can join the meeting, because we were not able to do it directly from our Facebook group, our current Facebook group. So that's the reason why you need to allow us to share this with our Facebook group right now, so that they can also take advantage of it. We have at least 2 different Facebook groups with almost like 600 business owners. Everything is better to share with them before we get started. So if you're new, be patient and give us like 3 more seconds to start sharing this around. Okay, and also if you have question, is it time to start typing your question on the comment section of this video. Okay, so basically like I said, today we are only talking about this 15,000 grant. If you are not interested on the 15,000 grant, then you can just move on to the next, or you don't know nobody who may be interested on this 15,000 grant. I think you may just move on to the next live that is going on now, because this is basically what I'm going to be talking about today. Okay, unless other people have different questions related to PPP or EIDL itself, or loan increase, or request for a consideration. Okay, yeah, if you have questions about those, I may also answer them, but specifically I'm going live now to talk a little bit more and more in detail about the PPP. Now people start calling. People start calling now when I'm live. Most of the time people see the live popping up on their phone and then they start making the phone call. I just don't understand. It's better just to wait when the live is over and then you can call. Okay, or you can actually join the live and ask your question, right? You can join the live and ask your question by typing, or sometime when you have a Zoom live in the meantime, at the same time you can also ask the question by talking. So can we start now? We're still giving 3 more seconds to people to join, and after this live, every person who is going to ask about those 15,000 grants, I'm going to refer them to this live, basically, because it's going to be downloaded on YouTube also for the people who are not going to attend to this meeting, because some people don't have Facebook. That's true. I have many of the customers who don't have Facebook. So what is going on here? What's going on here? Last week, I think I have one question here. Okay, last week we have, after the live or during the live, we talk about a lot last week. I don't want to go into detail whatever we talk. And if you belong to the Facebook group, PPP, ERGL, how to get it, what to do with it, and you can see the live that we made last time, which was actually last Sunday. And today I'm coming back with a portion of that live. Last week we talked about PPP, we talked about ERGL, we talked about so many other stuff, okay? But today specifically, I want to emphasize about the fact that this PPP, EIGL, it's a new grant, okay? Or it's a new round of grant, if you want to put it like that, because it's not a brand new grant that didn't exist before, but it's a brand new round of grants, because this grant is being there since last year, and this year it's been there in a different way. Last year this grant was supposed to be 10,000 to everybody, and the SBA decided that we only give it 1,000 to every person, every employee per application. That means if you applied last year and you have 5 employees, you should have received 5,000 last year. Okay, if you have 2 employees last year, you should have received 2,000 last year. If you didn't have employees, you should have received 1,000, because you are your only employee, your first employee. And this year the SBA adjusted, under the pressure of the people actually adopted the law that, hey, those people were supposed to receive $10,000. How come we gave them 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000? Give them the whole 10,000. So that is how today we implemented the $10,000 grant. That means everybody who applied last year was supposed to receive a difference of $10,000 now. Everyone who applied last year was supposed to receive a difference of 10,000 minus what they received last year. But how do you receive those? That's the same question as how do you receive the 15,000? So over time, the only people allowed to receive the 10,000 grant were the people who actually applied last year, like I said, or applied before December 27. Every person who applied after December 27 was not included into the allowance, was not eligible for the 10,000 grant. And that was crazy, because a lot of people were complaining, how come I'm in the same situation? I apply on December 28th or December 31st or even January 21st. I'm still a business owner struggling. How come I'm not eligible to get the 10,000 grant? And I said to people that, of course, the 10,000 grant that they're talking about, they divided into this part. The first people are the people who applied, they receive money less than 10,000 grant. The other people were the people who actually applied but didn't receive nothing. But that was last year, right? But then I said, you guys need to keep working, keep following up, because eventually they're gonna come to allow everybody to get those 10,000 grants. This is what we need to know, okay? And over time, they increase the 10,000 to 5,000 by adding a 5,000, they call it supplemental, okay? So basically, when you apply for the 5,000, 10,000, then you become also eligible for a 5,000 for a supplemental, or they send you the money they allow you to apply again for the 5,000 separately. So now, this is like a history of the 15,000. Now, when people start complaining, because a lot of people were complaining that, how come am I not going to be eligible, or how come I never receive? Or some other people also actually never receive even the invitation to apply. I'm talking about the people who applied since last year. So many of them also were complaining that we never received. It looks like maybe the money run out, okay? And a lot of people who applied last year never received the invitation to apply for the 10,000 grant. That is how the SBA decide to actually allow or put available a new round of money, which is this $15,000 now. The $15,000 is supposed to allow every person who applied last year and did never receive an invitation to apply, because it happened. I still have some people who never received the invitation to apply. That's for them. But now they are adding the new people who apply this year, like January, February, maybe December 31st. People apply this year, like maybe you applied last week, you are eligible to this $15,000 grant. But you also need to know the eligibility. You are eligible is the fact that by the fact that you just applied. The new eligibility is that you have to incur 30%. But before I'm giving you down the 3 main eligibility criteria to get this money, I want to let you know that you are just eligible by applying for EIDL. Okay, you are eligible. You are more likely. You are likely to get this money just by applying for the $10,000. Applying for the EIDL. What is the EIDL? The EIDL is the application that is online. You can apply by yourself or you can seek guidance from someone. It's always better to seek for guidance because a lot of people screw themselves. Again, a lot of people screw themselves by putting any numbers. Now they have to see how they can do with the taxes to match what they said in the application. Okay, even though it's a simple application, you can seek for guidance to know exactly what you have to use. Okay, so basically, who is eligible? Every person who can apply for EIDL. It doesn't matter whether you should be approved or no for the EIDL. You know, when you apply for EIDL, you could get declined because your credit is so bad. You could get eligible, but for an amount so low, you know, you can apply for EIDL and you're eligible for only 3,000 or 4,000 or 10,000, depending on the gross income that you have. Simply put, if you never apply before for the EIDL, what do you have to do? The main thing you have to do now is apply. And why am I saying apply? And that's why I was saying that everybody is eligible for this. Everybody is eligible in the sense that I know that all our major 90% of self-employed or sole proprietor, most of the time they don't even claim their business in the taxes. I know a lot of people who actually even have, you know, registered business, but they say, okay, I opened this business in 2018. Did you claim in 2018? No. Why? Because I made some cash. Did you claim in 2019? No. Why? Because she made some cash. Because the cash she made or he made was cash money. So he thinks that the IRS will not know that he made money. That's why he doesn't claim that in his taxes. Okay, it's not like a corporation. A corporation, you have to do it. Even an LLC, normally you have to do it, okay? But some people, I don't know who advised them, and some tax professional will advise them, or some CPA will advise them, oh, you know, don't claim in your taxes, which is the really bad way to do, bad thing to do. It doesn't matter either you made millions of dollars or only $100 during the year. Claim that activity in your taxes. Because guess what? When you don't claim, the government may actually think that you made millions, even though you only made $100. Because it's registered business, right? You have a registered business with the state where you have maybe an AIN number. That means the IRS is aware that there's a business registered with that AIN number. And you don't claim tax. It's just like you have a Social Security. You work and you don't claim your taxes, right? This is what it means. This is first of all a bad idea. If you listen to me and I don't know if I'm gonna claim or not. It's just a bad idea. First of all, you have to be consistent with what you're doing when you file taxes. You will have issue when your taxes are up and down. This year is totally different from last year. Next year is totally different from previous year. This is how sometimes you get audited. You don't even know. If you have a business, self-employment activity, the best thing is to claim in your taxes. Now, you can play on whether you should claim all your income or no. That's another thing. I already made a video about explaining why is it important to claim your income in your taxes. I don't want to make that explanation here again. Why is it more it's more beneficial to you to claim your income in your taxes? You know why? You don't want to know why? Drop the question on the bottom of this video, and or send me a WhatsApp message, and my team or I will take a pleasure to give you a free consultation, okay? Or 10-minute consultation to let you know why you are actually losing by hiding the 20 or 30 or even $100,000 that you make during the year. What you are losing by hiding to claim $30,000 in your taxes. I will explain to you why. For now, I'm just want to let you know that everybody is eligible because majority party, Almost everyone during the pandemic is, doing Amazon business, opening online business. You have a business. You have a business when you claim a Schedule C in your taxes. Okay? Even though it's not an incorporated business, even though you just, collect, whatever it is and send it to your next door, neighbor or your cousin or auntie, it's a business. That's a business that should have been claimed in your 2019 taxes. If you have not done so and you are interested in your $15,000 grant, the first thing to do is to actually estimate what was the income that you made during that year and apply for the EIDL, claiming that income as the income that you made, because you have to claim an income. Now, what's going to happen? The government might need to see your taxes. Now, you're going to amend your taxes and claim that Schedule C, that income in your Schedule C that you're going to create and put in your 2019. Just by doing that, you become eligible maybe for an EIDL loan, because you actually apply for EIDL loan at that time. If you claim $10,000 only, you could be eligible for up to $20,000 loan. Okay? I said 10,000 only. Imagine that. I say income. I'm not talking about the net income, because a lot of people also don't know the difference between a gross income and net income. I say if you claim gross of 10,000, you could be eligible for $20,000 EIDL. Okay? $20,000 EIDL just by claiming 10,000. Why? Because the eligibility of the EIDL has been increased, has been times 4. With $10,000, your normal eligibility should have been $55,000. Now, it was times 4. That means the 5,000 before becomes 20,000, because 4,000 times 4 is 20,000. Now, but that's not what you're looking for. Why? Because if you are eligible or you're even declining for the 20,000, what you're looking for is actually the email that will say, oh, please come and apply for this $15,000. This is basically what it means. You will receive an email that will tell you, hey, come and apply for the $15,000. Of course, over time, it's going to disappear again, because whatever amount they put, I think it was 15 billion or something, 15 or 8 billion, I don't remember the exact numbers, and they put available. Of course, it's always by first come, first serve. So when you're going to take time to think about whether I should do it or no, by the time you decide yourself, then it's over. Okay? Then it's over. So yes, that's the reason why I say I have to take this stand to explain to all of you guys what it actually means. That's why everybody is eligible. Everybody is eligible, because everybody can actually go and amend his 2019 taxes, because he was doing some side activity and he thought that, it's only 5,000. Even though it's only 1,000, it's not based on, I don't receive the email to apply $15,000. So it's not actually based on how much income you have received, just like the EIDL loan itself is based. No, just by you applying, you are eligible, you may be eligible for $15,000 grant. And that is what I was talking last year in December, how to get the easiest $15,000. I was talking about 10,000 at that time. I said, go there, register for Uber, pick up 1 or 2 customers. That's 300 or maybe 400. That's it. You're eligible for 10,000 when you're applying. That's why I said last year, December, that this is what you can do, because you will become eligible. That's the same thing I'm telling you now. If you have done some type of side activity, you amend your taxes 2019 to claim that activity in. It doesn't matter whether it's only 10,000 that you claim in. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's only 10,000 or it's 1,000 that you have to claim in the 2019 taxes. You become eligible right there. Now, some detail about the eligibility is that when you are applying. This is assuming, of course, that you receive that letter. Once you receive the letter now, okay? Because once you apply, you will receive an invitation letter. Okay, if you belong to the Facebook group, you will see what the letter looks like. Okay, the invitation letter. You will receive an invite email that will tell you, hey, you are eligible to apply for the 10,000 grant. Go there and apply. So what are the 3 steps that you have to do here to get this money? The first of all is to get the invite. The step 0 is to know that you have to claim, you have an income, 2019 income to claim. Okay, or the step 0 is to actually apply for EIDL if you never applied before. That's the step 0. If you never applied before, go there and apply for EIDL. That's step 0. Now, when you apply for EIDL, the step 2 is to actually get an invitation or invite email. Your invite email will actually give you the link to apply for this $15,000. It's divided into 2. It has it targeted, which is 10,000, and it has a supplemental, which is 5,000. That is how it makes everything to do it to be $15,000. Okay, so this is the first step. The step 0 is to actually apply for EIDL. Whether you are approved or no, that's not actually what you're looking for, unless you are actually even looking for a loan. If you're actually looking for a loan, it's even a better solution, because that's the 3%, 3.75%, 30 years loan. I don't know where you can find that. There's nothing actually. I've never seen a 30 years loan. I didn't say mortgage. Even the mortgage is not 3%. The mortgage is sometimes 4%, 3%. Sometimes you are lucky that you have perfect credit score. Maybe you can get 3% or 4%. How many people are getting their mortgage for 3%? Very few, right? So, or what about loan? How many people can get a loan at 3%? Very, very, very few people can get a loan at 3% for 30 years. So yes, if you are looking for a loan, it's even a good opportunity. But if you're not looking for a loan, that's not actually what you're looking for. You're looking for this grant, the 15,000 grant. 15,000 grant. The step 0, you apply for the EIDL. Then they will give, okay, you're eligible for this, follow up or don't follow up. That's not the issue. Then you wait for step 1. Step 1 is to receive the invite email. You want to know what the invite email look like? Go to the Facebook group. You're going to just type targeted. You're going to see something that looks like this. And when you receive it, an invite, now this next thing is to apply for the $15,000 grant. How do you apply? Those are 2 steps process. To apply, the first step process on that application is to do the calculation. Okay, how to do the calculation for those $10,000 or $15,000 grant. Basically, what you have to respect in that calculation, by the way, you have to provide the 2019 2021 income activity. Okay, what you need to do here is to basically provide information that will sustain what you have put in the application. And I have in the Facebook group again a link of the webinar that I was having. The webinar that I was having. And what was it? Give me 1 second. So what I was saying is that you need to show an evidence of 30% decrease from 2019 to 2020. There's 2 evidence that you have to show there. The first one is to show the evidence of 2019 30% decrease. The 30% decrease is actually the requirement to get 10,000. Remember, I told you that there are two different grants combined into 2 to make it 10,000 and 5,000. So when you are doing calculation, if you do a calculation can show a 30% decrease, and then you more than 30% decrease, you get a 10,000. If it can show 50% decrease from one period to another, between like 8-week period from 2019 to 2020, then you will be eligible to get the $5,000 as well. Okay, when it comes to the number of employees, if you have 30 employees or more, you're eligible for the 10,000. But if you have, 10 employees or more, you're eligible for the whole 15,000. Okay. Okay. So basically, what you need to do here is to basically, once you are very quite sure that you made the right calculation, because the key here is the calculation, because once you finish your application, the system most of the time is the robot that will actually go there and and apply to see if your calculation match. Okay, so if they match, then you are approved. So the best thing to do is to follow a guidance, and we have a Zoom video, Zoom live, where I was explaining with a real case study for one of the customer how to do the calculation. And I'm going to post it again because I know it's in the Facebook group as you are watching now. I'm going to post it again so that you can go there and actually see how I was doing the calculation, so that you can actually do it by yourself. What the trap you have to avoid when you do the calculation. I'm gonna share that with you on the Facebook group. If you belong, that's good. If you don't belong, you have to figure out how to find our Facebook group. Okay, so basically those are the two. That's the first step. When you finish with calculation, now what you have to do is to basically apply itself. The application is not quite long. The only difficult part is those calculations, because if you have the right numbers, calculation is like straightforward. Okay, so that's a two-step process. First step is the calculation. The second step is the application itself. Okay, so yeah, this is what I wanted to let you know that. Okay, so there are two different steps. The first step is to do the calculation. The second step is to actually apply for that loan. When you apply, put in mind, if you respect 30%, you'll be able to receive $10,000. If you respect 50%, then you'll be eligible for how much? $50,000, because they're gonna add even $105,000 to the 10,000. This is what I want to share with you guys. I don't know if you guys have questions, and if you don't have questions, we're gonna end the live in the next minute. So this is basically what I want to share with you guys, that a lot of questions were coming. Somebody say, okay, am I eligible? I think I explained already what the eligibility is. You are eligible if you applied already. If you applied already for PPP, for EIDL, then it's good for you, because you just have to wait for the email. Okay, if you applied last year, you even received something or you didn't receive it, you are eligible for this $15,000. It could be 15, it could be 10, depending on whether you can show the evidence of 30% or 50% decrease between two weeks period from 2009 to 2020. Okay, so basically this is what you have to show. Somebody said, what if I receive the $10,000 grant? Okay, somebody said if she received a $10,000 grant already. Okay, if you receive a $10,000 grant, it means you applied already last year. They give you $10,000. You still have to follow up to watch for the $5,000, because again, the maximum you can get is $15,000. If you already apply for the $10,000, which is not targeted, you will have to wait or watch for that email that will invite you to apply for the $15,000 as well. I mean for $5,000 this time. Okay, so I don't see this other question. Somebody say, I didn't receive the email to apply for the $15,000. Yes, and you have to still wait for it. You will receive it. Or what does the email look like? We shared that already. Go to the Facebook group, but the email should be like targeted advance, or now they are actually using the same email that we were using last year, which is disaster customer service. So you can also use disaster. You can also check disaster customer service at sba.gov. Watch an email coming from that email address, or targeted advance. I think it's a targeted advance sba.gov. That's something like that. So that is what you need to watch an email for. What do you do for the email? Look everywhere. Look in your spam. Look in your trash. Look everywhere. I know some people receive a lot of email every day. They even cancel them. Okay, so go there. Whatever you see SBA, before you cancel it, you can actually share with me if you want to. For me, actually, you can just look at it, because I'm gonna post. Because today I'm going to post in the Facebook group what it will look like. Okay, the email that you will receive, I'm gonna share that inside the Facebook group so that you can actually look at it. I'm gonna start to hide some people information. I'm going to post in there for you, to be able to see what it looks like, so that you can actually recognize. You don't cancel it, you don't delete it. Okay, I don't know if there are more questions. I answer your question, Danny. So I don't know if other people have questions about it. If they're done, I think we can stop at this level, because I really didn't want to be long, but I want to address this question about the $15,000 grant. I made this video last week. I mean, until yesterday, people kept asking me, "Oh no, am I eligible? What's new? Is it new thing? What's the difference between? I mean, am I eligible for this new?" So if you are on my contact, I hope you will not ask me the same question again, because I'm gonna direct you to this Facebook Live, and you will understand why I direct you here. Because when you call me, I'm gonna say, please watch this live, because it has a question of what the question that you have. If you finish it, you have a question beyond what was explained in the video, then I will answer those. Okay, no question about the loan increase. Okay, just a reminder, the loan increase, you guys need to watch your email for loan increase, because they will be asked, they are sending you guys email to let you know what you need to provide. And if you don't see an email telling you what you need to do to get your loan increase, guess what? Call them. Okay, call them 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Call them. When you call them, call at least 3 times. Okay, I will never get tired of saying that. When you call the SBA, do not make a one phone call, you finish. Okay, also this is what they say. No, when you make a one phone call, you finish it, make a second phone call. If you have the same answer, it's more likely to be the good answer. If you get something slightly different, just call again for the 3rd time. Chances are that you will receive the 3rd call will give you an answer that is closer to either the 1st or the 2nd call. This is what we consider. Okay, and you also know that somebody is giving you an accurate answer when you know he's actually checking into your application to give you information based on what he sees, compared to somebody asking you, and did you submit your 45060? You say yes. Did you submit your request for consideration? Yes. Did you submit it? Okay, it's in process. It doesn't know nothing about your status. Okay, so you have, when you hang up, just call again, and that when you call us to say, hey, how I applied, I never received nothing, I will ask you, when was the last time you contacted the SBA? That's why we ask you. That's the first time we ask. When was the last time you called them? And call them every week. Don't get tired. You cannot get tired when you need money. Call them every day. Okay, call them today. Call them not every day, every week. Call them today. Sunday, they are actually open even on Sunday. Okay, call them Sunday. What? Call next Sunday. Call them every day until you receive your money, or until they tell you what to do to receive your money. Because guess what? They have money. They have money. Okay, I didn't mean to be that long. And if after this you watch this, on any platform, feel free to drop the question on the platform where you watch the video, or you can actually go to YouTube, drop your question, and it'll be our pleasure to come back and address them. Until then, take care and have a very nice beginning of the week tomorrow. Ciao, that was Russell Fullers, your tax and accounting specialist, here to assist you with this PPP, EIDL, and now all the tips to have is to launch a successful business, and most importantly, to save in taxes. That's the key. Every business that you're doing is about saving in taxes. You don't want to give your hard-working money to the government for nothing, or give them more than you actually supposed to give. That is what we do here, and we're gonna start again on helping you on what we mean by this. Okay, until then, see you next time. Ciao.